Welcome back, Benchwarmers, to another episode, and round of applause for Gat already being here. Back-to-back episodes. Thank you. So if you're watching, you already see him. If you're listening, now you know he's here. And I am one of your hosts, Eric the Instigator. Next to me, we got
Nico the Nick.
And then the new and improved.
I don't know if it's an improvement, to be honest with you.
I
I prefer
it
the
suits
other
you
one,
more.
but
It suits you more.
it fits for sure nowadays.
What did I say
does.
before again?
El Dormido?
Mark Snorius.
Mark Snorius?
No,
Mark Snorris.
I don't know, but let's go with Marco Dormido. For anybody who's wondering what Dormido means,
Sleepy.
sleepy. Because he's apparently he's always yawning on every episode now. And I've noticed that for the past couple ones. And on Pro Clubs, if you maybe we should stream it more often. That's on me. But if I were to stream and you were to see what would happen,
You will consistently hear, Marco, stop falling asleep. Marco, stop watching YouTube. Marco, what the fuck are you doing?
So
Marco, why are you as a striker?
well, you are the striker.
I am the striker,
But
but
I'm
Gat
not-
hates it. Gat hates
not
it
after last
because he
night,
always
though.
gets
Does
demoted
that
when
get
I show up.
demoted after one game?
I try not. I honest to God, I try not to take that spot away from you, but everybody starts giving you shit. So I'm like,
You
alright,
get
whatever.
demoted for JG.
But after last night's performance,
That's
don't
why I
know.
went. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go right back.
So, but a little housekeeping for you. Of course, we want to let you know where you can listen to us and all that good stuff. So, Nick, where can they find our podcast?
You can find our podcast on all podcast platforms at Benchwarmers FC.
Boom. And if we're not there, on the one that you listen to specifically, let us know. We'll try to get on there. We'll do our best to,
Accommodate.
accommodate. Exactly. But if you want to give us a follow, shoot us a little DM. Let us know what you want to hear about on the podcast, when you want to come share your voice, all that good stuff. Marco, where can they go to do that?
They can go to all our social media, Benchwarmers FC1, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok.
I was like, did we just getting lazy and just saying like all this, all that?
No. I'm like, I mean, if we were lazy, like just follow us social media and continue.
Yeah,
But,
for real.
but we actually go step by step.
Yeah, because we want people to know
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they can find us. Because I don't want you guys looking if we're not gonna be there, and if we're missing somewhere, let us know. We'll try to get there.
For real.
And Gat, if they want to see you here more often, where can they watch us?
Well, you can watch us. Make sure you also subscribe, hit that little bell icon
My man.
on YouTube, Benchwarmers FC TV.
Ding.
Ah, la
I'll dap
verga,
you up for
bro.
that. So,
No.
but before we get into everything, we want to I want to give a little shout out to some listeners across the world. We are international, guys. It's pretty cool.
We are
That is pretty
big
cool.
bulls here.
So,
Mr. Wise.
oh god.
Marco, what?
He's awake now. This is what happens when we wake him
For
up.
real,
Yeah,
stop
for
giving me
real.
coffee before
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
recording.
So look, when we call him the interrupter, he doesn't interrupt. When we call him sleep, now he's awake. Oh my god, bro. I don't understand this guy. But
Mr.
you-
Contradiction.
if you're listening from Germany, England, and Canada, thank you so much for your support and participation. It's greatly appreciated. And shoot us a DM or leave a comment or review on the podcast. Let us know what you want to hear. Let us know if you want to come share your voice somehow. We can do it online. Just because we're across the world doesn't mean we can't connect somehow. So thank you for that. But yeah, man. Are you guys ready for the action that's happening this weekend?
Yes, sir.
Do it.
Let's
Are
do
you
it.
ready to talk about the action that happened this week?
Yes, sir.
Ooh. Dun, dun,
I'm kind of nervous now
dun.
because it's like I don't know what to expect in the future. It's all like kind of what?
Take a sip of coffee.
Okay. You're right.
Does he really need it? Ew.
I know Marco loves that sound.
Thank you, Nico.
You good?
Okay. All right. You guys want to get anything off your chest before we get into it?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Talk to me. What's up?
I love you guys.
Oh, dude. Man, I love you too, man. I love you guys too, man. And we love everybody who's watching, listening. Dude. I enjoy doing this twice a week. Although sometimes your opinions piss me off, but I keep it to myself.
Huh?
We most 90% of the time we were in somewhat sync.
Yeah, somewhat in sync. Yeah,
I think now it's a little different because Ronaldo is where he's at,
and I hate him,
and you hate him. So like you might not, and you don't follow Real Madrid that much anymore.
dude.
So.
I told you when he was at Real Madrid, I was blinded by like that Real Madrid lust. Like,
I mean, you have his shirt, you had the whole thrill of going to go look for him when he was here in the United States.
Yeah, I had
and shit
that
like
lust, that Real Madrid lust. Like, oh
Yeah.
my, I had the bias glasses on, but now that I
You
see
see the light.
the light, the beauty of the game for what it is, I know Messi's the best in the world. Like there's no thing that just there's only one man who can do what he does with the ball, and that's Messi. And you know what? I saw the light. Look, there's Ronaldo, and then who's probably a superhuman, and there's Messi who's not from this planet. That's the way that.
Arsene Wenger said it best, bro. Who's the best player in the world? Lionel Messi. Who's the best player of all time? Lionel Messi.
Wenger knows all. Wenger knows all. All right. So I think we're ready to get into. Oh man, I already got a little itch in my throat.
Damn, bro. Drink water.
I got coffee.
We're in shambles.
For him,
Holy
I'm too
shit.
nervous to start.
I'm a nervous start. I'm excited to start, but I just wanted to kind of catch up with you guys because I feel like we don't talk much. We just kind of like get into it and then you just leave. And I wanted to converse with you guys for a bit.
You just show up and leave.
Yeah, I feel like you guys
This is strictly business.
exactly. Yeah, that's what it feels like. You know,
Clock
wham
in,
bam,
clock
make a
out.
man.
There's no group chat outside of this or anything. This is strictly business.
Oh man, bro. I guess fuck you guys. Let's do it. All right. So the first thing we're gonna kick off with before we get into this weekend's predictions is a big news that happened across Europe this past week. The biggest one being, I don't know the biggest one, but probably one that took a lot of Barca fans by surprise and made them very happy, is that Koeman has been sacked. So, who is coming in now? I think Nick, you made the post earlier with Xavi.
Yes.
Who was it? Xavi. Who is linked right now? The coaches that are linked to Barcelona.
It was Xavi and some guy named Gallardo from, I think he coaches in North America, but the running favorite is Xavi.
Now, I think we were talking about this in our overall group chat with everybody else, and Fernando made some very good points, and I kind of agree with him in the fact that it is a good idea to kind of get a coach like this at the moment they're in because he could start implementing their ideas. And the more I thought about it, financially, it makes sense too because they can't go splurging on big name players right now. They have to build with what they have, and why not do that with a new coach with new ideas? Do you think? And I'm one of you, Gab, because you're wearing the Atletico Madrid jersey right now. That this is that if Xavi comes in, he's gonna be able to steady the ship again, get them within top 4, or should they kind of face the reality that they may be in Europa, possibly not even Europa?
I mean, I think that's a tough one because you can see the environment that Xavi's coming into. It's not the best one. I mean, you saw what happened with Koeman after the game last time out when they were just.
But they never
vandalizing
did
his
Xavi though.
Right, but I mean that's just the environment that's there now, and for him to come in, with
Sure.
all the financial problems that Barcelona have, I think it's going to be tough to say that he'll be able to turn it around and make them top 4. I mean, by all means, he probably could. I mean, he's not doing that bad with in Qatar where he's coaching now.
I'm
But
sorry.
it's Qatar. I know.
No.
It's actually Qatar.
It's not.
Qatar.
It's not that it's Qatar or anything. It's just the fact that the only replay I see of
It's-
It's
Xavi's
the same one.
beautiful play is the same exact play that I've been seeing for the past 3-4 years. So
It's
show me
like
something
20
new.
touches and then they score.
Yeah, but it's like oh Xavi ball, but okay, it's the only play I've seen. Like show me something else. But then again, I haven't gone looking for it, so maybe it's out there. So do you think Xavi would be the person to kind of steady the ship? I know it may not be the best move for him, but Fabrizio Romano did kind of tweet out today that it's pretty much agreed upon already with both.
I mean, I think he has a good shot at steadying it. I mean, yes, there's financial problems, but I mean, there's still a decent enough squad that he can.
Young players.
A lot of young players that he can take under his wing and kind of just show them maybe a different kind of play. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think he can steady it.
Now, Marco, your rival. This is are you happy today that he got sacked, or are you kind of upset?
I'm upset in a sense. I would have loved to see him a little.
I
I mean, the
exactly.
banter wise, right?
Yeah.
You want to see him, but I feel like it's unfortunate. It's not his fault. The situation that Barcelona's in, even though he was being blamed for. I know we spoke about it the last recording. So it is unfortunate that he did get sacked. But he also knew what he was getting himself into. Like he knew the situation that was presented to him. He knew what was coming, and so he, in a sense, should have expected that if the results weren't there, he was going to eventually get sacked. So I feel like it was too soon, but I mean, with who's supposed to be coming, I feel like I don't want to talk about his tactics because I don't know his tactics. I've never seen him coach, but at least for the Barcelona fans, It's a way to block away what's going on behind the scenes.
A smoke screen.
It's a smoke screen. They're basically saying, here's Xavi Hernandez. This is one of the three that brought us the 6 trophies in 1 year. I think 2 times in a row. He was one of the 3 that were feared of. My personal fear was that him, Iniesta, and Messi. So, and he might have great ideas. So let's bring him in, and let's hide what everything is behind. And plus, like you were saying, they have such a young team because they can't buy anybody, that maybe he is the perfect person to come in and start building and creating ideas, bringing something different that we haven't seen in Barcelona in a while.
Do you know any of Xavi? Have you caught up on Xavi's coaching career in Qatar?
I haven't, to be honest.
Yeah,
No,
so I don't
I
really
don't really know much. But like on this, I'm just pretty excited. Is Xavi, like one of the best midfielders of all time, coming to coach the club we all known him for. And I'm just excited to see how he implements his playing style, and also how I like to see how the fans get behind him, because I just feel like with Koeman, although is he considered a club legend?
Yes. Who?
Ronald Koeman.
Yeah.
Like somewhat.
Did he win them a Champions League?
Yeah,
I
he
think he
scored
has
like
one- he
a
has
free
one with
kick
them.
from like 40 yards out.
Yeah.
But with Xavi, it's just Koeman's on like level number 1. Xavi's like on level 100 in terms of getting the fans behind him. So yeah.
The thing with Koeman, it felt like he was always deflecting. Like he was always blaming everybody else except himself. Like he was giving himself credit when he wasn't due any credit. They kept losing. They had bad performances, and he kept saying if it's not for me, this, then the other. So Koeman kind of, I think, brought it upon himself. I'm not saying it was a right way to act. I don't really think you'd see that in football. Primarily when managers get attacked like that. So it's kind of crazy to see that happening at Barcelona. So it's really a reflection at what's going on. You didn't see United fans reacting that way, and they're in not just bad shape, but they're in bad shape right now as well. So yeah, Barcelona are in a weird position right now. I think Xavi, to your point, is gonna kind of calm it down a bit.
Yeah, and it can only go 2 ways. It's gonna go the Zidane way. It's gonna go the Lampard way.
That's a good comparison.
That is a very good comparison, actually. It's a good
And
analogy.
both were unexperienced.
Yeah.
Both coach. I mean, Lampard I think had more experience, a little bit more
Well, he
than
coached,
Zidane did.
Yeah.
But they're coming back to their clubs, and one had success and the other one didn't.
Yeah.
So we'll eventually see.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it by the end of the year and see where he's at.
And Nano made a great point in the chat where, yeah, Xavi's gonna have the likes of De Jong, Pedri, Gavi, Fati, Depay, and it is kind of weird because like De Jong under Koeman, like I mean he was great for Koeman under the Holland national team, but I just feel like when Koeman came into Barca, De Jong's level just kind of dropped. So I'd love to see how Xavi likes to he'd get the best tune out of De Jong, especially.
Well, we'll see if De Jong is still around. And this is not for today's podcast. Of course, this is more transfer rumors. We are getting closer to the window. You are hearing more things. There are a lot of links of De Jong leaving Barcelona because of the financial situation they're in. So we'll see what happens with Barcelona. The first move was to give it to Koeman. I think it was a necessity at this point. I think we can all agree about that they had to give it to him. It was time for him to go.
I just want to know whose salary was cut to be able to pay him out.
Well, we'll see. There's more to come from that. But other big news that happened across Europe. Well, actually, we'll bring it back to England. We're not back. We're living there,
Yeah,
but we're talking mainly about the Premier League, right? So let's take it back to England, where Man City, the Carabao defenders, got knocked out, and the penalty shootout, right? It was.
Yeah.
And it was against
West Ham.
Oh, West Ham. And Noble scored the penalty, right? And I saw that.
Noble scored, and who missed?
Foden missed. Damn.
I mean, he was directing this to you.
I saw on Twitter like I want to see who missed the PKs. I saw Foden. Damn. God damn.
So I mean, honestly, you guys, we can dissect this if you guys want, but it's just a competition they got knocked out of.
Yeah, it was just they just had to lose. It wasn't like I didn't watch the game, but they won it for 4 years in a row. I mean, you have to lose at one point. It's
exactly. So I mean, do we throw sticks and stones?
No.
Nah, it's
All
not
right.
like he's gonna get fired after this one.
No,
It's
I
like,
mean,
it's
apparently,
one less.
so I wasn't aware he's leaving after this season. This is his last season coaching there.
Pep?
Yeah.
I don't I don't think so.
Isn't that what Johnny Gomes said, that his contract's up after this season?
I thought I read somewhere where maybe the 2023 season is when he's not going to be there anymore.
Oh.
That's when his contract ends, I think.
Yeah, I think it
Okay.
ends next year.
I mean, you can't trust Johnny Gomes. Sorry, Johnny Gomes. You can't trust Johnny Gomes.
Yeah,
No.
He's a fake City fan. He's a
Information.
fake City fan anyway, so
Yeah.
we don't know what he says is true or not.
So, oh yeah, Man City get knocked out. West Ham move on. Noble got his redemption for his miss earlier this season. Other big news, and I'm probably gonna butcher his name, but Josh Cavallo, right,
Sounds about right.
from Adelaide United, I think is the first official footballer that came out gay. So congratulations to him, and I've seen nothing but a lot of support. So that's awesome to see. And
Progress.
yeah, support from the bench as well.
Progress.
Yeah,
Finally.
man, it'd be sucked being around like that kind of atmosphere and not being to be yourself.
Yeah. For real.
So it's good that he got that out, and hopefully any other player that is living under that kind of experience can do the same. So yeah, now we can get into the weekend predictions. Any other big news across Europe that you guys want to dabble on?
Oh, Bayern lost 5-0.
Oh yeah, against Mönchengladbach. That's right.
Yeah, dude.
And they played their starters.
They played a strong ass
They
team.
played a strong team.
I saw the result. I'm like, 1-0. I'm like, okay, they'll come back. 2-0. I'm like, okay, they'll come back. I'm like, 3-0. I'm like, damn. Fuck, I should be watching this game. I forgot what I was doing, but 5-0, man. I guess they didn't want to let United feel bad for the week.
Yeah,
So
every wall has its cracks.
I guess not. I mean, we'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's fuck. I think it's a big deal because
5-0.
it's a 5-0, but is it really gonna affect them? I don't think it's gonna.
No.
do it.
No,
I mean, it's just
probably
like one and done kind of thing, but it is a big deal because it's 5-0, right?
yeah.
That's the big deal.
Yeah,
But
so,
it's
I
not
mean,
gonna affect them much.
I would though like to hear Bayern's opinion on Julian Nagelsmann and like kind of compare what he has in common with Hansi Flick, because when Hansi Flick came in, he won 6 trophies
mhm.
and he was a great manager. So I'd like to hear Bayern's fan opinion on Julian
We can always
Nagelsmann.
reach out to Andrew.
Andrew, and,
Oh,
if,
yeah.
and if there are any Bayern fans listening and you do have an opinion on that, let us know. Shoot us a comment, shoot us a DM, or just I don't know how else to let us know. Tweet, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Twitter.
Yeah, cool. All right, so yeah, Bayern lose 5-0. Anything else? Wait for the Premier League action,
Do it.
dude. I'm so mad, man.
Why?
Arsenal kick it off this weekend again for the game week, and 7:30 in the morning. I mean, I'm happy I can get the stress over with nice and early, but if it does not go our way, then my weekend's already ruined. So let's get into it. Leicester are hosting Arsenal as we travel to the King Power Stadium. Both teams are in pretty good recent form right now. I think Arsenal need to dig deep to get a result out of this game. I'm very nervous going into this game because, again, Leicester have been in good form. They are at home. Vardy is cleared to come back for this game. So there's nothing like a Vardy party, against Arsenal. It's always a situation, but this isn't the same team that we had these past couple seasons with Arteta and Emery. We have a new back four. Marco, how confident are you that that this defense is going to be able to I guess withhold Leicester from getting inside, and what's the key for us to win?
What was our? I remember we lost, but I can't remember if it was just for one goal. Our last time we faced Leicester City last season, I think it was 1-0. Vardy scored one. He came in. He was injured and came in around the 70th minute, and that's when we crumbled for one goal and we lost. I believe we lost 1-0.
At home, you lost at home. Yeah,
right?
1-0. But
Okay.
I believe you won away at the King Power when Tielemans scored that crazy goal, and then you guys came back. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So, but and yes, Vardy wasn't present at that time, if I'm mistaken. And we had a different back four.
Of course,
I
yeah.
think we should be able. I no, I'm confident that this defense can walk away. Is Tierney back?
I don't think so.
Even if whatchamacallit is there,
no.
I am confident that this team can keep us a clean sheet. This back four, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I think to your point, it's this back four has been solid for us for the majority of the season since they've came in. I think they haven't got beaten yet. If I'm not mistaken. Since this new.
This the new lineup
Yeah.
with Ramsdale in the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
6 games clean.
However, I'm just a little nervous about the creativity. That I feel like in Ndidi is gonna give us a problem. He's back, right? Who got hurt from that I'm thinking about from Leicester?
Fofana.
Fofana, yeah. So yeah, Ndidi is I think is gonna give us a problem, depending how we line up. I know Odegaard is back. He was actually injured this past game, so he's back. Um, I'm nervous because again they're in really good form, and it just and I hate to say this, but it feels like it's gonna be like in one of our games where it just doesn't go our way. But as long as we can maintain composure, maintain the intensity, which is the main factor. If we just sit back and defend, we're losing this game. But if we bring it to them, if we play on the front foot with it, with the pedal to the metal, I think we can walk away with tight win. That's my optimism speaking right now because the realism in me thinks that this is going to be a draw. So, but I don't want to play it safe that way. I'm gonna go optimistic and I'm gonna go with the win on this one. I think Arteta is starting to have more faith in the youngsters, and I think the youngsters themselves are getting much more confident, especially having gone 6 games unbeaten, and they started looking a lot better on the creative front in the past couple games. So, just based off that, I'm throwing of course, my optimism is coming, is shining through right now. But I think we can walk away with this game either a 1-0, 2-1 result, and that's again the optimism in me speaking. I don't know. Did you guys played Leicester last? Not before what's it called? Liverpool, and you guys lost 4-3, right?
4-2.
4-2, 4-2. Yeah, that's a big game, man. How do you feel? Do you see this going Leicester's way or?
I think there's definitely gonna be goals.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, Leicester have been conceding, and Arsenal are in pretty good form now. So I think there's definitely gonna be goals on both ends. If you look at the stats, I know I brought it up earlier, but Arsenal, if I'm not mistaken, I believe are 15th on expected goals against. So they're conceding a lot of chances.
So just for perspective, the first 3 games is when we conceded all those goals. Ever since then, I think we've had 5 clean sheets in
right, but that's
6
just,
games.
Right, but that just means you're still conceding the chances. They may whether or not that they're going in is a different story, but the opponents are getting through, and Leicester, you let them through,
they'll score.
They'll score on you.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be goals here, but I think it's probably going to be 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, hard to disagree with that.
I agree on most of the points you touched on it, but if I'm an Arsenal fan, I probably wouldn't worry as much getting conceding a lot of chances, just because when I look at Gabriel and Ben White, I feel like they're pretty much secure when dealing with strikers who have good movement. But if they go up against the one option that would scare me if I'm an Arsenal fan would be Daka, because he's a frightening option out the bench and he brings pace and power. But I doubt he's gonna start, so they're probably gonna face against Vardy and Madison. So if I'm Gabriel and Ben White, I'd be pretty not laid back, but like have a mindset of okay, I can definitely stop these strikers just because they're not as pulverizing as some other strikers. But my worry is on the other end is, like you mentioned, the creativity issue and whether Odegaard or Smith Rowe starts, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff whether they can't start together. What do you think?
I've actually seen that where it takes away because if you put Odegaard and Smith Rowe on the same on the lineup, that means you're leaving Partey by himself, and then Partey cannot. He's not a true CDM
unless you throw in Smith Rowe on the left.
And they throw Smith on the left, but then
you still have the opportunity to have him too, but then you're limiting a little bit the left. In
so I guess that's a good question, Marco. Do you think we're going? And I will answer your question, but do you think we will go 4-4-2 again or 4-2-3-1, whatever they?
I wouldn't mind seeing the same exact lineup that we saw this past week.
Okay. So that would mean Smith on the line, but if they are on, I do think they can play together. They just need more. Just gotta mesh more. Just gotta play more together. You know, it's gonna come with time. It's still super early. I mean, you look at Odegaard, you forget how old he is sometimes. He's 22 years old. it feels like he's been around because he has been around for a very long time since he's what 16, 15
We've
years old.
known him since 15, I think. Since age
So
15.
it feels like all the guys been there for very like been around for a very long time, which he has. But he's only 22 years old, and then Will Smith Rowe is only I believe 20, 21 years old. So I think they can play together. Maybe how Marco said it, where Smith Rowe's on the left and Odegaard is in the middle with Lukaku Party in the midfield. That would make me feel more comfortable because I don't think if they're both playing as the attacking midfields, then or the tens, I guess you could say, then I'd feel a little nervous leaving Party by himself as a CDM. I don't think he has. And Odegaard tried playing the 8 that one game against Brighton, and he was completely lost.
Yeah.
Completely lost. He says he can play that position, but just he wasn't. He didn't. know
I
what
mean,
did.
he has for Real Sociedad. He did it, but
I don't know.
and it's a different lineup, different type of people, and everything. So I think
Different
he has to get used to it.
Yeah.
It's just that right now to throw him in there just to see if he can do it.
I wouldn't mind it though, because he's a left-footed player. He can pick out a pass. He has that he could do what Shaka does, just at a higher, faster, better level.
Yeah.
But it's just
What he needs is time and be able to get
Tactical
those
awareness.
chances to play that position. The
Yeah.
problem is that right now we can't gamble on that.
that's the thing. Yeah, Shaka is such a tactical, aware player. Like he's so disciplined in that sense, where he will stick to his role. He will listen to whatever the manager tells him to do. Not saying that Odegaard won't listen, but he gets a little lost. Like he's not as disciplined as far as positioning or anything like that.
Sometimes his attacking mentality kind of like
Will
winds
take
him a little
over,
bit,
and then
yeah.
he'll like run up the field. And
It's
they
like when
target him on.
back when Pepe would do all the flares and would lose
Yeah.
the ball,
Yeah.
and kind of the same
There
sense.
was another one who's like causing like a lot of. Is he a flop or not?
As of right now, in my eyes, he kind of is.
I consider him a flop. He looks pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
He has been looking, I think, poor again. He looked better last season when there was no fans.
And also, I feel like you have to give context as well because that was when Arsenal were kind of out of the Europa League race.
Yeah, yeah,
So they were just Arsenal were kind of playing, I guess you can say, dead games.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, and yeah, again, I told you guys last season to me was a fluke. Pepe to me I think has been a flop as well. But then that's just the price tag that's on him. If he would have came for 30 mil, would we be talking about this right now?
No.
Probably not. But it's the price tag. It takes over. And yeah, I think he's been a flop, but he does have one of the highest goal contributions in the team. So it just kind of goes to show that although he kind of reminds me I mean this in the sense of like it's frustrating watching him play, but then he creates something out of nothing sometimes. Where Sacco from Liverpool, remember back in the day, he looked like he was fucking like mad weird on the ball, but he always managed to do the job well. Pepe is the same thing, like in the sense that he'll like do 20 step overs, fucking lose it like 10 times, but then he'll like create one opportunity, boom, put it on goal, Aubameyang assist, boom, cross it in, header. It's like he has those moments, but it feels like it's Salah early days where he needs 10 opportunities to get that one chance. As opposed to Salah now where he's like, any chance he gets, he's putting in fucking that.
And Pepe's words is 20 to get one.
Yeah.
No, but I feel like Pepe in this because yes, I agree with you with everything you're saying. I think he should just continue for now, just to be like a super sub. That one you want a change, you bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't ever see him I don't ever see him being in a starting 11 consistently. It's tough with him because he's probably the only, I guess you can say, direct 1v1 keyword 1v1 threat
Yeah.
on Arsenal.
Yeah,
But-
Smith Rowe's trying to make a name for that now, but yeah, I think Pepe's the only one that can actually do that.
And you mentioned, I just feel like at times he's just playing the wrong way because he can beat someone off the dribble 1v1, but sometimes he just wants to do these step overs and just see who's at the back post with his left foot. Like he can beat someone 1v1. It's just sometimes he takes a bad touch, or in my opinion, I think he's a very poor decision maker.
Yes, yeah, that's the key thing. I think his decision making is just horrid. His touch, it's there. Sometimes it's not like the cleanest touch, but he has a great touch. He's great on the ball, like you said. I think he could take almost anybody on one-on-one. But it's just his decision making is just so it's just so frustrating because he could be doing so much more contributions for the team. But yeah, I don't think he breaks that starting 11 consistently. He has to have a phenomenal run of games to break that top 11.
He's not taking Saka's spot. And on the left, right now, if they play like they played this past one, I would hope to see Obama Laka again. So even if even on Laka, sorry, Obama, they'll put him on the left. In a way.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see how we line up this weekend. If Leicester go, do they go 3 in the back? No, right.
No.
Barely.
Okay, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe Brendan Rodgers will be having an eye on that Manchester United Tottenham game to see if his job opens up this weekend. But
Hey.
before we get into that, we gotta talk about Liverpool a little bit because they're going up against the XG champions of last season, Brighton. You guys are hosting them at home. And before we get into the actual game itself, I just want to mention Salah is again breaking headlines because Egypt are now going to teach his footballing career as a part of the curriculum. So I think that's fucking amazing. It's only going to bring awareness to football, make more
It's actually pretty dope.
more kids want to play. We're gonna have more Salahs, coming out of Egypt. So we'll see what happens.
I saw a funny meme on Twitter. Someone said there's gonna be a Ramos chapter. Like, damn.
Yo, word. They
But,
probably think of him as
Can
the
you
devil.
imagine? Oh, that would be funny. History.
Like, who's Ramos? He's a filthy player or whatever. But like, damn, like just imagine like not even Salah, just like imagine you're a football player from a nation who's Salah before Salah, Egypt never had an icon player.
Mhm.
And that goes with a lot of countries. So imagine coming from a country where not that many footballers get to be at the top where Salah is right now. So imagine just seeing just the whole nation just looking at you like this icon.
Appreciate your
man.
your hard work and ethic. So I mean, it's a credit to Salah, and he does it on the field, nonstop. And how do you think you guys are gonna do this game? Does Salah continue his goal scoring streak?
I think so. Hopefully I
I
didn't
kind of hope him.
jinx it, but
I hate to say it, but I like Salah. I never hated him, but I hate Liverpool. But I like Salah, so I hate that I like him.
You don't hate Liverpool. You hate Edgar that likes Liverpool.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
but
That's different.
That's true.
I like to see the other day you mentioned with like Konate and Matip,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of thought about it. Like I like to see Konate get another chance.
Didn't he play against
United.
Yeah.
So he started against United, and then Matip played yesterday against Preston in the Carabao Cup.
So it seems like Konata's gonna get a chance.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Hopefully.
yeah, I'd like to see Konate. I'd like him to build a very good relationship with Van Dijk because Van Dijk and Konate, that's like, Jesus, dude. Like you have that's 6'5" center backs who are some of the fastest and strongest defenders in the world. So if Konate is able to build that relationship with Van Dijk and be able to push up for an offside trap or
Mhm.
be here or be there with Van Dijk, I just think in the future, 2 years, 3 years down the line, because Matip's probably going to leave this summer maybe, or maybe
Yeah.
a year in time because he's injury prone. He's up there in age as well. So maybe right now, if they start building a relationship right now, it'll just get better
Hell yeah.
year after year.
Yeah,
How do you
it's-
think
it's
this-
scarier?
This game looks for you guys against Brighton.
It's tough to tell because
Actually, good game.
exactly it's tough to tell because with Brighton, they're like he just mentioned, they're tactically great and they're managed by a great coach and Graham Potter.
100%.
And last year when although injuries and whatnot, when Liverpool faced Brighton created so many chances and Liverpool created nothing.
XG Kings.
Exactly. So with this game, we have Thiago back, but I doubt he's gonna play. So I'd probably Fabinho's also not in training. So I'd like to see probably a midfield of Henderson at the DM at the 6, and then Keita, and then maybe, Keita and Curtis Jones, and then probably run it back with Firmino. Run it back with Jota and Firmino and Salah. I'd like to see Jota on the left just because he's a lot better on the left and down the middle just because although his movement is great at the number 9 position, with Firmino, he gets a lot more space.
Mm.
And one of the reasons why is because we all mentioned Firmino drops in and whatnot. When Mane's there and Jota's at the 9, it kind of like clogs a lot.
He stays up a lot.
Exactly, kind of clogs with Salah and Jota and Mane. So I like to see Jota, Firmino, Salah. So with this game, I feel like I'll go with a 2-1. I think it's gonna be pretty close.
2-1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I know also, I believe it was earlier today, Potter already said that Dan Burns also not even going to be available.
Dude,
So
that guy should be a basketball player. That guy's 6'7".
But from a set piece perspective on the offense and the defense, that's a big miss.
I guess
But
going against Van Dyke and everything. yeah.
right, but it is still Brighton. I mean, like you said, tactically they're still pretty good. It's still going to be a good game. It's in terms of Salah still scoring. I mean, he's got to stop eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens this game.
Do we know, is Basuma officially part of Prison FC?
I don't know.
I don't know yet. I think he's back. I think
Oh.
He is
so.
back.
Yeah, he's back.
He's back.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
he's not Prison FC anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, so
If he starts, we'll see. But
that's interesting.
they're probably going to need him.
And the other kid they had that's is like a firecracker down the wing.
Lamptey?
Lamptey.
He's always injured. He's a great player. And he actually came from the Chelsea Academy, which on the Chelsea Academy, they've been producing a lot of great talents.
They do.
Livramento, he came from Chelsea. Lamptey, and obviously Reece James, Mason Mount, Tammy Abraham,
Yep.
Trevor
Gilmore.
Chalobah, Billy Gilmore at Norwich. So, I mean, Chelsea produced a lot of great
Alright.
academy graduates.
So, who do you have winning this game? Leicester. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Leicester, yeah,
Liverpool
definitely
or Brighton.
Nah, this is gonna be a simple, not a simple one. It's gonna be a hard fought game, but I still believe Liverpool has what it takes. They're Liverpool, and right now I don't see them losing a game as of right now. So, give it a score, or I'll give it a 2-0.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are in great form. Brighton, I think they've lost their last couple games, or they have been kind of rocky, if I'm mistaken. I have to look at the results. I'm not 100% sure, but they are, I think, 5th place now, if I'm not mistaken, in the league.
I mean, which is still great for Brighton.
It's still very good for Brighton, and people are saying, are giving them a shout that they can make a run, just because, again, last year statistically they were one of the best performing teams. They just couldn't get the results.
Yeah, they are 5th.
They are 5th, right? Okay, so nah, man, Liverpool are at home. Salah is just in crazy form right now, and you said they're deep. Konate and Van Dijk. That is, I mean, they couldn't do anything against United. Couldn't do anything against them. So I'm giving giving Liverpool this game 3-0.
But remember, like a couple days ago, you mentioned about like Saliba,
Yeah.
and I mentioned about how like he's pacey and
Yeah,
strong and whatnot, like physically just gifted. Like the same thing with Konate, and I love seeing those defenders because some defenders are like Matip. He's pretty slow. He's decent in the air, but he's like very good defensively, positionally, and awareness. But I love defenders who are just so physically gifted because defending and all that positioning, all that game, it comes with time. And as long as you just play minutes after minutes after minutes, it's just gonna come. So with Konate, I love him. He's honestly one of my favorite players on the team.
I feel like the original like that kind of build where they're pacey, good on their feet, was early Varane, younger Varane when he was like.
I'd probably say Rio Ferdinand.
Was he good on his feet?
He was like originally considered like the OG ball playing center back. But I can definitely see Varane because I mean he's pretty quick
Yeah.
and he's also physically gifted.
It's Liverpool are just picking the right defenders, man, each time around. But yeah, Liverpool, I think all of us agree that they're gonna want to win this game. So let's move on to the next game. And this is gonna be, I think, known to all of us as El Sacchio. Spurs are hosting United. My only question to you, Gab, because this is your team, will this weekend's result determine either manager's future?
I don't think so. I think regardless of what happens, they're going to keep moving forward.
With the managers.
Yeah, I mean, especially because you're coming at a time where there's really not many people available. And then, I mean,
there's one now. There's one more now out there that's available.
Ronald Koeman.
He's available now. So
Could you imagine, dude? Just like we all wake up next morning. All right, let's see what's going on today. Manchester United official tweet. Welcome, Ronald Koeman, Dutch manager.
Yo, he has whoever that agent is, fucking amazing work.
Yeah.
the reason why he got sacked now was because he was already in talks with one of the
For
teams.
real, right?
or Newcastle too.
There are rumors of Conte already agreeing to go into United. He just doesn't want
That'd be
to,
funny as
step
hell.
on
but
anybody's.
there's also a lot of disagreement with the board wanting to sign him or not sign him.
Because you know what's going to happen.
Right, because it's Conte. So
I
that's
mean-
why I'm saying, especially. I mean, that's why there's
Well, they
either
do-
way, managers will stay for both
Well,
teams.
do you think? And this is slightly off topic. Do you think they'll do Ole as dirty as they did Poch?
Oh,
Which they fired him in 24 hours because they already had Mourinho in talks. Because Mourinho came in, not even 24 hours was announced after Pochettino got sacked. Do you think that they're gonna do him as dirty as that, or do you think they'll sack him, have an interim if they sack him? Let's say hypothetically they sack him. Do you think they'll do him that dirty? Have somebody already lined up because all the talks that keep on coming up of Zidane, of Conte, and now that it kind of sounds like Conte is the one that's going to be chosen. Do you think that they already have talks and all he's going to know, get sacked in 24 hours? Conte's going to be like, hey, I'm here.
that was the longest question I've ever heard in my life.
I forgot what the question
That's
was.
already-
Okay, I'm never asking a question again.
I get what you're saying, but it's just like you just
It
like said it like
sound-
10 different ways.
I kind of answered it for him.
He
But, you know.
did. He answered the question.
All right, moving on.
I'll ask you the question. That's hilarious.
The answer was yes. this was a long ass question for a yes or no
Wait,
answer.
what? And that question was sponsored by Burger King. I'm sorry, yo. Do you want to answer this question?
What was
I mean,
the
it-
question?
it-
Want me to repeat it? Want me to repeat it?
Repeat it.
Repeat it, Marco. Repeat it.
Insert the SpongeBob thing here 2 hours later.
Nico will do it for TikTok.
But I mean, it sounds like it's heading that way. I hope not. I don't think so. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into the game a bit. How confident are you going into this game? Because Spurs aren't any good form either. They're pretty bad. Nuno is on the chopping block. Everybody knows he wasn't the first appointee that they wanted to get to begin with. So there's already doubt to begin with. Harry Kane is not performing to his capabilities, and if you don't get the best Harry Kane, you don't get the best Heung-min Son either. Questionable midfield on both ends. Both teams seem to be unbalanced, but how confident do you think that these players are going to come out fighting for the manager if they come out fighting for the manager?
I'm confident just because of the result that just happened, because it was against Liverpool. So I'm confident that everyone is just going to come together and say, okay, we just got a thrashing at home to our rivals. This is not going to happen again. And then we're going up against a team where, like you said, they're also not in the greatest of forms.
Mm-hmm.
So I also think there's going to be quite a few goals in this one too.
Are United away or home?
They're away,
United have a pretty decent record away at.
Yeah.
except for that Leicester game. But
No, away at the Spurs
oh,
Stadium.
yeah.
Oh, but no, they are actually better away. Maybe it's not having the pressure behind them. Who knows what it is? But Nick, tactically, do you think Ollie is gonna stick to the same, the infamous McFred in the middle?
He can, dude. He can. And also, we saw like Papa getting sent off. For me, it's a blessing in disguise. Guys, I'm looking at people need to wake up about Paul Labile Pogba. This guy's not good for Man United, guys. They need to get rid of this
Ask
guy.
the question that you asked earlier.
You
For
asked us.
Pogba.
All right? My question is Paul Pogba a flop? Now, I'm gonna answer my own question. I personally don't think he's a flop, but he's very, very. He has been very, very, very massively underwhelming. And he's just, just get rid of this guy, man. I'm telling you.
I mean, my answer was yes for Man United.
You think it's yes?
For Man United, yes.
What do you think, At?
I don't think so. I think it's just a poor run that he's on. He just got to break out of it.
Damn, he has a
How long has it been
consistent run. 3 years.
I mean, well, I'm in recent.
2017
How about this year?
or 2016?
But well, I mean, let's look at the longevity of the time he's been there. Has he been a flop? He came in. I think he was one of the highest transfers, 100 mil, if I'm
At the
mistaken.
time, yeah.
Is it a flop?
89 million.
89 was it? Okay, that's. I mean, is that a flop?
I still wouldn't-
Throughout his career.
I still wouldn't consider him.
He's
I
there
still
for
wouldn't
4 years,
consider him
right?
a flop. Something like that.
4 years, right? Am I
Fourth
wrong? I'll
year
check.
now.
I'll check.
Fourth
I'll
year
check.
now. But he's won Europa.
That's it.
I mean, that's
Europa League Cup with
more than
Yeah,
us.
3 years.
with it's just yeah, man. He's just United bought players not for him, so they bought Fred and McTominay to try not to really accommodate him, but to try to ease the amount of defensive stuff he has to do. And even with them, he just
Their recruitment has been poor prior to Ollie coming in. Ollie, that's why I think all his recruitment has been better in getting young players and getting the best out of Luke Shaw, for example. But lately, I think he's been getting exposed tactically, sticking to what's not working. That's why I asked you, do you think he's going to stick to it? And you said he can't.
Yeah, he
But I
can't.
think he will.
He's in his 5th
Like,
year now.
as
But why?
he's done it over and over and over and over again. He's done it with Atlanta. What happened? Dude, Paul Scholes, everybody's seen the clip already, literally called it, besides him chewing on his daughter's toes.
Dude.
That's disgusting. But everybody's seen, you guys saw it? The Sky Sports prediction that he made?
On if you play Liverpool, Man City on Sunday, they're gonna
The
give it
same
the
way.
part. Yeah.
They're going to go into the half 3-4-0. What happened? They went into the half 4-0. He literally called it. And all he is done it over and over and over and over again. I think he sticks with it, especially not having Pogba as an option. And he doesn't play Van de Beek for God knows what reason. Like what are his options? Matic? Maybe he puts in Matic.
He's not bad, man. I kind
I
of
mean,
rate him.
I hope
Oh, his little leg. He's
I hope-
laggy now, but
I hope that
Like-
everything that has come out since then, I hope that kind of just leads them to try something different.
that's
He's not going to have Pogba as an option now for what 3 games. So he has to do something different. Even if he sticks with the same freaking system, at least we might have a few different subs, but he's got us fresh out the gate. He's got to do something different.
I had this conversation with my brother yesterday, and I feel like we were kind of going back and forth for a bit. I was sort of defending Ronaldo in a way, and in the fact that he was pretty much just saying that Ronaldo is bringing this team down right now, and I do agree with him to an extent. But I think the problem is if you bring a player like Ronaldo into the team, knowing the player that he is now, not the player that he was, you got to build a team around him. You can't build a team around Paul Pogba or Rashford when you have a Ronaldo, because he's not going to give you the same effort that everybody else is going to give you. Why? He's not going to drop back.
He
And
barely did in the past.
the Premier League, you have to nowadays. The best teams do it. As simple as that. Lukaku he's a postman. He's different build than Ronaldo. Ronaldo, he's a guy he runs through the lines and he just goes for headers now. That's all he does. And Tevin Merchant, but that's another conversation we gotta have. But how do you think Ollie should build this team? If obviously it looks like he's staying here for the short to midterm, but how should you start building this team? Who should you start building around? Because he's got to find some kind of foundation.
I mean, like you said, I mean, you bring a player like Ronaldo, you have to have players that cater to how he plays, and just find creative options to get the ball forward, however that ends up being. So I mean, especially now, he's got to change things up. He's got to change formation, throw Cavani up there with him.
You really want to see that, don't you?
I've been saying it
You
since
died to
day
see that.
one.
You want to see 2 strikers? Do you want to
Since
4-4-2?
yeah, like a 4-1, 2-1-2 maybe.
I could see the 4-2-3-1 where like Cavani kind of plays like the 10 role and just drops in, kind of like Firmino. And I think Cavani can actually do that role pretty well. I'm not sure how well he is on the ball. I think he's I don't think his touch is as clean as Firmino.
Hasn't he done that when he played for Uruguay when Suarez is up there with him?
Yeah, exactly. He plays up top of Suarez, and Cavani's the one that drops
But the
back.
10 I'm talking about, yeah. So
But that's Cavani. That's how everyone knows him. Like his work ethic is nuts.
He's just very smart player as well.
he is.
Right. And no, his touches aren't always the best, but he's aware of what's going on. He knows what he has to do, and he knows that if he's dropping back, he knows there's someone else up there. So he's gonna get the ball up.
So how do you what is your 11 going into this game?
Going into this game, I don't think Varane is ready to go. He's supposedly back training. I don't think he'll be ready. He's not going to start. So Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Tellez. I would go with the 4-1-2-1-2. Maybe throw in Matic in front. Start Van de Beek. See what happens. See what happens. Van de Beek, Sancho, Bruno, Ronaldo, and Cavani.
Sancho's not going to do it. It's going to be Rashford.
Right. But that's just me needing.
That's like you.
That's
wanted
me.
what's what
Right.
you
That's
want.
me
My
like
bad.
wanting
I
something.
apologize.
Wanting something different.
Yeah.
I mean, that is different.
That is very different. And I wouldn't mind seeing that, having like get some more energy in the midfield, man.
Or Lingard. Swap one of them with Lingard.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I know
Cavani
Lingard's
in.
more of a 10, but I mean still something
I'd
different.
You-
say-
dude,
I'd
Lingard's
say-
good, man.
Yeah.
I think it's really good.
I'd say leave Cavani in with Ronaldo, like you said, but leave Bruno out and bring him in the second half to see if he can find some explosion.
I wouldn't.
second
I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed
Can I
to
get
that.
some fire in him?
Put,
Yeah.
going?
put
One,
Lingard in there instead
It
of
gets
Bruno.
into his head. They're like, bro, where you at?
Does
And
Ollie,
two, it's like, all right, I'm here. I have the energy. Let's see what I
Ask
can
ask the
create.
question.
does Ollie have the ball to drop him?
Probably not.
I don't think he does, because he knows that he's gonna get torched. Like he's gonna get a
If it
lot of
doesn't-
heat.
So
if
remember
it
last
goes
year,
sideways.
I think-
But
yeah,
I
I
think
think
at this
regardless-
point, it doesn't really matter.
Remember-
I think regardless, he would get heat if he does drop him. If he does drop him and they do well, he's going to get heat. Well, why didn't you do that prior?
Yeah.
I
If
don't
it doesn't
think
go
so.
well, he's going to get
I
heat.
don't
Well,
think
that's
so.
because
remember last season when Aubameyang got dropped for the Northern Derby, and everybody was going like, "Oh, why would you drop him for this game?" It's like, yo, I get it. You know, you have your priorities, you have your standards, you have your values, but this is the Northern Derby. We have to have our goal scorer on, and no, he benched him, and we went without him. He was held as a genius. Oh, well done, Arteta, well done. If that would have gone the other way.
Two sides of a coin.
Mm,
So, if Ollie has the balls
yeah, it's all
to
about the
change
ball.
it up this weekend and go with what you're saying, or just change it, just get rid
just
of that.
any,
McFred.
just literally anything
Just
different.
change it. Just
anything.
do something different. If he has the balls to do it and it goes well for him, in a heartbeat,
I mean,
you get the fans back.
I've told you this off the air. You know, we talk a lot during the games, especially. How is he going to figure out what works if he doesn't actually try?
Exactly. And he's-
Trial and error. You're on the hot seat now.
Yeah.
What more do you have left to lose? He
Nah.
said it after. I mean, yes, his job. I know, but after the Liverpool game,
That's almost
part
lost
of
anyway.
part of his interview after, he said one of the lines was that it was his darkest day as a manager. Okay, if you're at,
Yeah.
if you're also saying that this is rock bottom, then you can only go up from here. So just try it.
That's probably him hinting that, yeah, I gotta change. this thing
Just
up a
just
little
try
bit.
it. See what happens.
So we'll see, man. We'll see if Ollie steps it up and decides to. It's right now it's trial by fire. So whatever he does, it's
Fuck it.
either gonna go very, very well.
Exactly.
Or-
Do what Barcelona did. Just put defenders up top.
Damn, Marco's just trolling at this point. So with that being said, what is your result for the weekend, Marco? Let's go with you first.
Nobody gets sacked because it's gonna be a gentleman's agreement and it's gonna be a tie.
Okay,
So it's gonna be a 2-2.
2-2. Okay,
I could see it 2-2, but I do also, like I said, there's probably going to be goals. I can see it 2-2, but I can also see either side coming away with 3-2.
okay.
1-1.
1-1. I think United are gonna win this game. Players are gonna fight for Ollie. Kane is not doing it, and Nuno is lost in the sauce, man. Quality of players, United's way, 2-1. So that's yeah. We'll see what happens this weekend. The table's getting really intense. We're 10 games. This is I think our 10th game in so far. So we're almost at the midway point, I guess you could say. Pick of the week. Anything? There's a lot of good games happening. My pick was Aston Villa versus West Ham.
That's
Yeah,
that's a
I-
really good game.
Yeah, I think I would consider that one and or the Spurs menu game because
Well,
they're the kind of they're different. They are different, of course.
I mean, like not from our teams.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. So then, yeah, that would be the best one.
Nick,
I
any-
still think that West Ham's gonna kick this shit out of.
Oh,
Aston
I
Villa.
think West Ham.
Villa.
I think West Ham wins that one.
Aston Villa are at home, by the way, just in case. you
I
know,
think
that
West
changes
Ham
for
wins
fact.
it.
I
West
just want
Ham?
to see penalties in that game so that Martinez can
Penalties.
go
Oh, they make okay. They make a penalty shootout. Why they make a penalty
No.
shootout this game?
So I won at least. So Martinez
I don't
can
know.
talk shit again
I think Villa get out of the little slump they're in right now.
against West.
Against what? I don't.
They're at home. They're at home.
I mean, yeah,
They
home.
need to
There's
get the
always
fans
that
behind them.
home
Yeah,
advantage.
but
of
just,
course, but
Aston Villa just lost.
yeah,
West
so-
Ham just won.
they've lost 3
Yeah,
games in a row. I
But
believe.
they're at home, and there's always a bounce back.
Yeah.
So why not a game like this? They have the quality of players. They just haven't been clicking. Maybe this is the game they click. That's
Maybe.
why this is my pick of the week. I think Aston Villa will bounce back.
I think there's gonna be goals. Ink's definitely gonna score, but I
Yeah.
just don't think this is gonna
Any-
be the game.
Anything for you? Any pick of the week?
No, I agree on that actually. I actually agree on the Villa point. I think they'll probably go away like 2-0.
Yeah. Listen, man. Yeah. If David Moyes was never the manager of United back then, and like, let's keep it, and again, I don't want to digress the United topic, but there's like so much happening right now. Would you take David Moyes back now, or not back? Would you take him now if he was never the manager of United back then?
Probably not.
Yeah, no.
Other question, and then we'll close it out with this: is Sir Alex Ferguson being there so much? Is it causing maybe a tension or just like either a doubt in Ollie or just more pressure to the players?
How often did he do it before? Never. So now it's
No, well, not never. He
he would
would
come occasionally come to a game.
Yeah, and I know I believe he goes. He was at the training ground today, but apparently he goes like once a year for like a suit fitting. So it wasn't anything like that. But it makes you think: is he talking to the players while he's there? Is because there was rumors back in the day when David Moyes was manager that the players would go to his house and talk to him. So does he still have that same power? Does he have too much power?
What's his
What's
role?
going on? He doesn't. He's not. I don't think he's officially a part of the club, but he's
just a
he's
legend.
involved with it.
Yeah.
But he's a part of the club.
Yeah, he's a part of the
He's
club.
not a part of the
No,
club, but
he's
he's a
not
part of the
officially,
club.
you
He
know?
is the club.
So it's like I guess what I'm trying to say is when you look at that Liverpool United game, they showed a picture of Sir Alex Ferguson. He looked like he was about to throw up, and then they showed Kenny Dalglish, and he was just like
He's just laughing.
enjoying it. As a United fan, you look at that, you're like, damn, man, it makes it even worse. It makes it makes the whole atmosphere just like darker. Do you think that's adding more pressure? You think it's a negative towards the players and just the performance?
Yeah, so media is definitely making it negative.
Yeah, a little bit, but I also see it as that he's in the stands. I would think it would want to make the players want to play and actually show what they're made of. But I mean, I could see a little bit of both. I can see how it's a little bit negative.
I wonder if like you're Ollie, would you want that? Would you want to have Sir Alex Ferguson? Yes, he's one of the best managers of all time. Would you want to have like him be so involved in what you do? Like, I just feel like if I'm Ollie, I'd just be like, yo,
Let me
yeah,
coach.
let me coach. I mean, I am the manager of the team, and Sir Alex hasn't been in the game since 2013. So yeah, just let me coach.
That's why I respect Arsenal a lot because they always ask him, "Are you going back to the stadium?" This and the other. He hasn't gone back. He says, "I don't want to go back because I don't want to bring that attention." And I respect him for that because I mean, if you build a club like Sir Alex Ferguson did, like Arsene Wenger did, like Klopp is doing now, you'd eventually want to go back and see how your team is doing. But it does bring that pressure, that like, oh man, this guy's here. He built this club, and look what the fuck I'm doing now with it. Like I'm driving it to the ground. Not saying that that's all he's doing, but it's right now is that direction. It's gonna go back up eventually, but we'll see when.
But you mentioned with like Arsene going back, whatever, and yeah, that's what you mentioned. But for like Sir Alex is getting involved with the tactics
saying.
and the management and the squad. If I'm not mistaken, I think the United report on Twitter said Sir Alex had the kind of final say on whether he wants to keep Ole or not, and his say was to keep him. So like I just feel like he's getting way too involved in what
Too much power.
exactly.
I mean, how truthful is that? Does he really have that kind of power?
Who knows, man? I mean,
Or
at
they're
the end
just
of the day,
making shit up.
this could all be speculation, but
okay.
the fact that you see him around the club,
Yeah, and I mean,
it paints a picture.
yeah, no. And when they're going through the worst patch that they've had, it looks even worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. If you're an Ollie in and Ollie out, do you want to see Sir Alex Ferguson in the stands? Do you feel that pressure, or does it motivate you? Who knows? Let us know what you guys think. I think with that being said, we can end it there. Do you guys have any final thoughts? All right. So as always, Gat, thank you for joining us. We hope to have you on very soon. Let us know when you can hop on, and that spot is always open. We are the Bench Warmers, the bench with the voice, where the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.